Hello, welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and intensely intricate Attilan Rough Riders to that 6+++ show. I'm your host, Tom, and my voice is slowly dying away because I have the start of term cold. But I'm here with the nerds of 40k to talk new year, new us, well, same us really, goals, resolutions, and all that good stuff, and hopefully engage with you, the chat, about what you want to do this year in Warhammer 40k as well. Not going to waste too much time. We're going to get into it, introduce our cast of players, and move things forward. I'm going to start bottom left with this immaculate camera. Look at this lovely camera presentation. I'm noticing huge differences in quality. It's my dear leader, Chris. Chris, you want to explain to people why you look so good in that bottom left?
Well, got been makeup, all that jazz. No, just stole all the YouTube money and bought a laptop.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
That works. Or sold my soul to the devil and I'll be paying it off forever. But
Yeah.
I was kind of fed up of. I was trying to film something and just my laptop was just so loud because I was trying to stream and run TTS at the same time. I was like, no, can't deal with this anymore. So got a nice shiny new MacBook. So now I get to film in 1080p and TTS actually works, and the laptop's quiet, and it's a joy, Thomas. It's a joy.
Fantastic. And as someone who gets to benefit from your new resolution, can I say you look fantastic?
So thank you so much.
Wonderful. Okay. And other than laptops, has anything Warhammer happened to you lately?
Warhammer. I'm painting some orcs.
You have been painting some orcs. What are you up to? 20 green skins?
10, mate. 10. I've just finished the first 10.
I was counting the grots as well, mate.
I've got the 10 grots. I've got 10 boys. Does the knob for the boys, is he on a different size base or is he on the same size base as a normal?
I don't think he's on a different size base.
Okay, he's on the same
size.
For
the grots, there's an orc on a different base.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. No, because I've got the original captain. I thought actually maybe I'll just use him as a knob and stick him on the same base. So maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I'm enjoying
painting. Wonders of your orc army is that it's whatever the hell you tell them.
Whatever I want. So it's a beautiful thing. Lots of fun. If you're interested in seeing it, then go check out our Instagram page because there is the picture of the beautiful 10.
Beautiful. I'm also joined bottom right by the dulcet-toned Rob, our True Jakari player, and like any True Jakari player, he's been painting and building a different army lately. Rob, how are you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm going away from the Dark Kin. Something a bit more human. Well, horses. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm taking some Atalan Rough Riders to ITT. So
yeah,
smashing them out. So building Kassakin as we speak.
Excellent stuff. And so, how are you enjoying your adventure? This is obviously Grizzled Company Guard, which there's a couple of fans of in this very live stream. But how have you found it so far? Are you enjoying it?
It's great having ranged output that actually kills things reliably and not just shoot dark wexes and hope to hell. Yeah. No, it's fun. It's still kind of like a shooty Drukhari, really, isn't it? High OC, weirdly fast. It just shoots instead of combats.
Shooty Drukhari. Yeah, I mean they're both armies with trash, OC, transports.
You need trash.
Let's keep saying they're the same and make Jack a bit angry just in time.
He's really unhappy right now.
Not angry, just confused.
And I get to play with indirect and not just get shelled, so that's fun.
Yeah, that is true. I did notice you put some mortars in your list. And I'm sorry that it's been so hard scheduling games the last couple of weeks. It has been difficult, but no, that's terrific. Man. And up in the top right, not mad, just disappointed with us, is Jack. Jack, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just trying to survive the sub-zero temperatures that we're dealing with at the moment, which is very easy thanks to my 6++ hoodie that you can get on Gambit Gaming.
Oh my god.
Flawless.
We're so commercial. It's so good.
It's been having a good time. Got some paintbrushes over these artist opus sets.
Oh, nice.
Over Christmas. That's,
those are really nice. Those, yes, Scrivo got me some of those once, which was a complete waste of a present, really.
So yeah, been working on those. Also been working on the old Garderoni. I've kind of like narrowed in on a list that I like, and I'm just gonna keep practicing that until they nerf it inevitably, probably.
Yeah,
since I'm playing it. But yeah, that's just trying to think of in something interesting worth not worth something interesting that's an interesting video topic, I guess, is the thing, because I do want to talk about Grizzle Veterans, but yeah, well, as we'll talk about later, I'm sure, with our various resolutions video stuff, but yeah, that's what I've been up to, painting guard and playing guard, and yeah, it's been having a really good time.
Living the guard life. Yeah, fantastic news. Look how happy and calm he seems and leveled out, because the towels are on the shelf and he's off playing guard and the good times have come again. As for myself, I've been playing a little bit. I'd sort of completely noped out of 40k for the whole of Christmas and New Year's, which was actually amazing. It was great. I did none of it. I had an RTT booked on the 28th and I was like, I don't want to go, so I'm not going to go, and that was nice. And I did other things. I think I ended up seeing Avatar 3, which is 2/3 of a great film, by the way. If you haven't seen
How long is it?
It's a third too long.
Yeah.
It was 3 hours 17 minutes, Chris.
Quite a long time.
And towards the end, it's like I think they're just doing the second and the first movies combined for like the last chunk of the film. Basically, you're like, what's going on? It feels like I'm being rehashed, but no, it was good. And I did have a bit of a loss of mojo trying to work out what to play for ITT, and then mercifully some mad lad did an event with 9 shining spears, and I was like, that looks like my kind of business. So I've played that a couple of times, and I really like that list. So whether that's the best Eldar list right now remains to be seen, but I'm certainly enjoying it, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. And I've actually just finally finished writing some slides for a guide to all the different aspect warriors, which I'll try and get recorded in the next couple of days. So. Awesome. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we are going to say hello to you, the chat. We'll do a smidgen of self-promotion because we're all right at it, some say. And then we'll get into our main topic. So, who's in? Ultimate Funk is in. Hello, Ultimate Funk. Chazza W's in. Our very own Ed Watts is in. Hello, Ed. Gordy Chung is in. We love Gordy. Fantastic. And he's called us the Fab Four, which is very kind of him as well. Thank you, Gordy. That's amazing. Jerry is in. Jerry's painting progress. That's fantastic. Jerry. Sam Dunn is in, and that's worthy of comment because Sam Dunn joined quite a good 40k team recently. So very well done to Sam Dunn. He has crossed the Rubicon and become one of the Knights of the Plus. So fantastic work, Sam. And I'm driving up to play him and get a sort of inaugural game where I'm sure he'll smash my back doors in with Rage Cursed Onslaught in a couple of weeks' time, which should be really nice. But we're very pleased to have him because there's not many people who are nicer than Sam, and that's a pretty impressive thing to achieve in 40k. So well done, Sam. Okay, as far as the promotional side goes, you're all amazing. You know the deal. Hit like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to sign up and support us as a YouTube member, we would absolutely love that as well. And we've got tons of other videos coming out, including on Thursday, a live fight night where we have 2 players from Team Wales and Team Ireland, respectively. Liam Keane versus Tom Maha. They are just deciding exactly what armies to play, but they're going to bring unusual things. They are both really high caliber players. And Scrivo and I will be bringing you the commentary on Thursday, so we're really, really looking forward to that as well. Okay, we'll drop some more promotion in later because we're not going to overwhelm you with it now, which means we can launch into thinking about goals, resolutions, and all that good stuff. So, you, the chat, would love to hear from you, so do let us know in your own words what you've been up to. But what we're going to start with is 2025, the year just gone. We're going to talk about what goals we had. And how we got on with them. And I think there's always room for reflection and thinking with that. I think it's always interesting to think about how we set goals and then what makes them work or what makes them not work. Okay, and we'll work round the lads, and basically I'll invite them to chip in on this until they have nothing else to say, which is usually a reasonable way to go. So I'm going to start with Rob. Rob, what goals, hobby or 40k wise, did you have in 2025?
It was to take another faction to an event. It was not Drukari.
Yes.
So I think I played 2 events, maybe 3 with Drukari. But I took Dark Angels.
Yep.
In the, what's it called? The old Shadowmark, Vanguard.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I took them in that. I took Dark Angels in another detachment as well. I think it was one of the Dark Angels ones. So I think I played them, I played Eldari, so I think I played 3 armies and I think it was about 5 or 6 different detachments this year. So that was my first one, and yeah, it was successful, that one.
Yeah, you definitely had a good time foraying into other armies. One of my highlights of the year was I was just about to go to WTC and I got Rob for a practice game, and Rob on his first game of Wrath of the Rock just ran at
Wrath
me,
of the Rock, that's the one.
absolutely smashed my back door because I couldn't hurt you at all, and I died miserably.
Those bikes had a good time that game.
Yeah, they really did. They really did. Goodness, that was good. A lot of fun. Okay, and so for you, why was that an important thing for you to do, Rob?
So I kind of took a bit of a back step from my usual goal of I want to be Drukari top 5 in the world, and I went, you know what, I just want to get better as a more rounded out player, and I think kind of playing teams showed me that. I think Jack would like me not to have to pair Drukari ever again.
He does.
So
he's been so patient, because I think the first time he properly said that was like a month or two ago, and he's clearly been thinking it for going on like a year now.
So I thought, like, for the first ITT I'm not in his team, I might take something different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been more of a development thing. Just I know Drukari backwards. I know the play patterns, and it was getting repetitive, so I wanted to try something different.
Yeah, no, 100% makes complete sense. Did you have any other goals?
It was to play better players, and I've gone through the England application process again. I'm not going to make it. I don't think I'm going to make it. I don't play enough. To be completely honest, I just don't get the reps in that the other guys do. And I've just been trying to get games on that Discord and just play better players. I've been playing less, but probably better reps.
You've been getting more reps in on our WhatsApp, haven't you, Rob?
Oh yeah, it's been great. I also did my back end, so I was off work for 6 weeks, so I played a disgusting amount. I think I've probably played more Spectacle Spite reps than anyone else in the world.
You were really good in those few weeks. You'd played a lot, and you were brutal.
I was playing 2 games a day for like 2 weeks straight, and now I'm well and truly burnt out of it.
Yeah. Context. What Chris is alluding to is that Rob is actually one of the to his credit, is one of the very proactive users of the looking for a TTS game area of our WhatsApp. But because he puts himself out there, he gets relentlessly mocked for being the one that asks for games. Is the long and short of it. Let's leave it to you, Chris. What were your goals in 2025?
I think obviously at the end of 2024, it was like, oh, well, I've just had a baby, and that's probably going to reduce my gaming time somewhat. So I don't think I really set any kind of playing goals. It was more of a let's see what life has in store, really, and kind of go through there. I think it's actually quite a difficult year, I would say, for me. I'd say from a personal playing perspective, it was actually a really difficult year. From a YouTuber content or creator type year, it was a really good year. So from the perspective of the team, it was really great for the channel to carry on growing, for us to start running our own events, and everything we seemed to be successful. And that kind of has obviously helped energize us as we move on to this year, where we want to try and formalize and professionalize and just take it a bit more seriously and really see how much further we can push it. So that was it was from 6++'s perspective, it was great. From a personal perspective, it was certainly really hard to try and have this kind of relationship between how much I'm playing and paying attention to the game and my expectations of performance levels.
Yeah.
You kind of you play your games and you're like, well, I'm not being as successful as I have been. Why is that? And obviously you talk to anyone else, or if anyone else was saying that problem to you, be like, well, obviously you need to shift your expectations because you're not playing as much. You're not getting as many reps in. But when it's you yourself, it's really hard to obviously just kind of accept that advice. So I think from a personal perspective, playing wise, it was disappointing because I wasn't able to. I really struggled to lower my expectations and accept that I'm not going to do as well. And obviously I had one probably event where I was really happy with how it went with 5-0 at the team's one, but then the next ITT was Death Guard, and we know how that went. So it's been from a personal perspective, I'd say it was I'd like to have learned my lesson and my expectations have changed. It's a complete lie. But I think from me being able to do kind of like the Monday show, that's been really interesting. Chatting with yourself, Ed, and Jack, and just keeping my mind in the game. And I've got a few kind of goals here where I've set myself for this year just to try and give me the best opportunity for success. Oscar's obviously a bit older now, and I can almost start to see the light of maybe soon I'll be able to get in 1 or 2 more TTS games a month. Go see people for a day, play a game.
Yeah.
Got to play Jamie Clifford the other day, and got to actually get an actual rep in with my ITT list, which was exciting. So yeah, we're going for it. But yeah, from a personal perspective, last year was a bit rough, but you try and take those learnings, don't you, and move on to see what you can adapt for next year.
Yeah, 100%. I think it'll be interesting when we talk about mine. I suspect there's degrees of inverse in terms of what was good and what was rough. So it'll be interesting to unpack that, because there's downsides whichever way you slice it, right? And obviously, you basically just had other really exciting stuff happening in your life.
Yeah. I think hearing your story, it's what mine was the year before with a 2-year-old. So it's and that's kind of shaped what last year's goals were for me. I knew I wouldn't be getting those results, so I'm like, cool, let's just go on a bit of a different journey.
Yeah, exactly. And I do care less now, I think, because I want to, my goals aren't at all around performance. They're about trying to broaden my horizons and that sort of thing. So.
Yeah, completely. Excellent. How about yourself, Jack? What was your 25 like for you and your goals?
Well, as a man who is married to the game and not to anyone else, I set 2 goals, sort of like categories, which was one was for gaming and one was for content stuff. And my gaming stuff was I wanted to do 4-1 at an event, a singles event, which I did not achieve. And I basically played Tau exclusively in singles for like the whole year. There were some tragically close moments. It was, I think there were some moments where that goal was stolen from me by the universe. But so be it. But it is what it is. I did very well in team events. I did very well in RTTs. I think I went undefeated in almost every single RTT that I did this year. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
And so that was fine. I think I also had some kind of goal about coming a certain play like within the top 100. Don't know if I did that. I forgot to check. In the UK top 100, and I think I had a goal about being somewhere in the best Tau players. And again, I forgot to check it. I definitely didn't do that one. But yeah, it was not what I wanted to achieve. I think coming in from the start of it, but by the end of it, I don't really think I was even aiming for those goals anymore. Like I kind of just threw them in the bin, so I don't really mind. But in terms of content creation stuff, I wanted to do stuff in person. I wanted to do some more in-person filming stuff, which I did do. We filmed the ITT event, and we did the in-person interviews at the Battle of Britain. Both were very fun. Lots of learning done at both of those events, both those like videos. So that was super cool.
It was awesome.
And I want to do more of it in future. So I think that was good. I'm glad that I did that. I also wanted to try my hand at coaching, which we have done. The desire to do another very bad ad for our coaching service there and just shoehorn that one in was very powerful.
We've not plugged it yet.
I was so resisting putting the plug in. Anyway, it was. I was trying my hand at that. That went very well as well. So that's all cool stuff. I was able to do stuff that I've always wanted to do, which is basically teach people about pairing stuff and all of the experience I've had on that, which we did do with the workshop that we did.
Could people buy that if they were so minded?
They could buy that, actually. It is available for sale, I believe. Is it on our website? I think it's on our website.
It is on our website.
Yeah, on our website. Would you look at that?
But actually, I mean, your segment on that gets regularly shouted out as people's favourite bit, right? I think the pairing stuff that you did there was really, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, it's something that I always wanted to do, and I'm glad that I have immortalized a lot of that knowledge. And I'm sure I'll come back to it in like a year's time and be like, I don't know what the hell I was talking about, because that sort of thing always happens. Right? You always learn more as time goes on. Yeah, that was really good. It wasn't the. I guess when I went into the start of the year, there were like primary goals and secondary goals, and I think I got the secondary goals, but not the primary goals. But I'm more happy about getting the secondary goals than I think I would have been if I got the primary goals. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So, yeah, good all year all around, I think.
I think so, and I think things like the documentary and things like when you came and you did all the photos as well. I remember you took all the photos of the team, and everyone getting excited in our team, seeing all the photos of them back. There were a few moments in some of these other things you did that were actually huge for our team this year, like really amazing, lovely, and very selfless things that you did, you know. And also, we've not even talked about your Tau videos. I think your Tau videos are among some of the best we've put out this year. The totally unbiased ones. I really like those.
I was going to talk about them more when we talk about the future stuff.
Oh, perfect. Okay,
but yeah, that's more like my approach to doing videos and stuff. So
yeah, wonderful. Okay, all right. As for myself, so I think in some ways it was a bit of an inverse year to Chris, where Chris had lots of things forcing him to reshape his 40k time. I had a sudden absence of things, which left a huge void, which 40k very aggressively filled, because I was suddenly between jobs, between house, between various different things. So this year was a weird year for me because I had way too much time to fill with 40k. So the goals kind of reflect that. So we did, obviously the main one was trying to play WTC, which we did achieve, and that was obviously a lot of work and time and energy to achieve. It's not a level of work and energy I intend to replicate anytime soon, because it was a lot, and I simply don't have the time now to do it, but it was an amazing thing to achieve. And I think various steps along the way to achieving that, like going undefeated in Nottingham and then South Coast, and then smashing out a few teams events and different things were all really, really cool to do, and that was a lot of fun. So getting to play was an amazing highlight, and I guess sort of a competitive highlight. I don't think 40k and hobby-wise I had many goals outside of those. I think those were definitely the primary focus this year. But I think the side effect of that was other things like my painting and playing locally and playing with my teammates, and all sorts of other things kind of suffered as a result, because I didn't do those things as much because you had to go and run around chasing. So I think that's going to lead towards the sorts of things I want to think about this year. But that was certainly the primary goal to achieve with that. I think our own stuff, we sort of just always chip away a bit at a time, don't we, Chris? I don't never feel like I have milestones with our content. It's always just sort of like, what's the next thing we want to do, and just
and that's it, right? Like we talk about wanting to be more serious or whatever, but the reality is it's just we do what we want, and we do like, oh, this will be a fun idea, and then we do it, and we're like, oh, that turned out to be a fun thing to do, and that's just how we work. And it's not a career, is it? We're not having to force ourselves to do things, so it is quite nice just to, as and when, take your time off when you need it, and then other times be like, oh, I'm really excited about XYZ, it's cool, I want to do videos about this, and then nothing's really interesting me, but someone else will step up. So
yeah, exactly. And I think there have been some massive highlights in loads of different ways that jump out. Like I think the Innis NAS TTS fight night was a really fun show, and that was one of those it's one of those things that if you told me like a year or two ago we would do that, we could just ask, and those people like that would come and play on our channel and do a silly live stream game where Vashtor fails a charge and dies to a blight hauler or whatever it was that happened. I can't remember. It was good fun. I wouldn't have believed you. And then obviously the coaching Discord, which has just boomed. We have there's loads of us with loads of mentees in there, lots of stuff going on in there now. I'll be really interested to see how the classes and workshops go when we start doing those again this year. But again, the numbers and the energy there was massive, and just really wholesome to see. Stuff like our Discord's really wholesome. King of the Ping. It's just every time I look back at something, it's like it's twice the size as it was when we first started, and it's just awesome watching that all grow.
Over 70 people for the next King of the Ping. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
we're international too. We have a southern hemisphere group as well, don't we?
100%. It's very funny. So all credit to Davey, but also all the team who've been playing in that as well. That's been really, really fun. Right, I'll just have a little look through the chat and see what they've said on any of this. I don't know if have you got any goals? Oh, we've got a few that are looking ahead. John Black says Chris is so in focus it's distracting, which is reasonable.
It's the goal.
Azuma Kazuma says my 2026 goal is to find a way to make my Black Templars better than Ultramarines. Anyone got any suggestions?
Have you tried aggressively bribing the rules team? Probably your best bet.
Yeah, I don't. It will be quite the turnaround if Templars end up better than Ultramarines anytime soon. I'll be impressed if we can achieve that. Alrighty, okay. So let's look then ahead to this year coming, and talk through some goals and ambitions that people have. And if we bring it back to you, Rob, what sort of things are you hoping to achieve in Warhammer in this year coming?
I think so this year's kind of been a stress-free, just get reps in with different armies, and I want to actually start competitively taking some more armies to events. So, actually start to be able to play, good players and hold my back up with an army that I haven't played for as long.
Yeah.
Just get that and push play. Push play is a big one too. I am a defensive player. I just play defensively. And push play is something I really need to work on, and that's what I'm hoping to do with, especially guard. You can have those push plays,
100%.
And Drukari you can't. So it's trying to kind of equal out my skill set, I think.
100%.
And again, I don't care about results at the moment. It's a really nice mental place to be. The one time I did care about results was Sunday night when I was trying to solve the meta when I was submitting my list for Nottingham. And it was stressful for no reason. I was just like,
I know it doesn't. It just doesn't help, does it? It's funny. Me and Rob's. There's a marked tone change in mine and Rob's private messages between before I've played with the 9 Shining Spears and afterwards. Beforehand, I'm like, fuck it, it's over. This mess is rubbish. I don't want to play it.
I was like, it's fine. Then I was trying to spin a list. I'm like, this is fucked, isn't it?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's just enjoying the game more as a whole and not getting so hyper focused, because I am bad at that. This is one of my traits. I just get so hyper focused that I need to try and break things out and enjoy it more as a game. And I would love to do some more of those silly games like we had on our stream the other day. That was probably my most fun game that I've had this year.
Yeah. That was our fundraising live stream where it was just bonkers, right? And because it was bonkers, there was just something incredibly freeing about it.
Which we are going to finish.
We are going to
finish. We will finish
that in just a second. We'll just get a couple more of these points out, and then we'll do the promo for that. But yeah, those sound like great goals. Really nice. How about for yourself, Chris?
So my first goal is to try and play a variety of army styles. I think what I've really noticed in my games this year and related to the year before is just because of the armies I play them in a very, very kind of one-dimensional way. And therefore it doesn't matter what army I pick up, I try and play it in this particular way. And therefore it means I struggle to pick up other types of armies that don't really suit that style, like a bunch of Death Guard vehicles, for example. So for me, it's one thing is, and the coaching does help this, of course, but try and just play a variety of armies that kind of shove you into playing a particular style. So obviously I've got my Grey Knights and I'll carry on doing them because they are my main army. But with the Blood Angels and the Orcs as well, hopefully that will kind of give me more of an incentive to try and play in a different way. And one of my other goals links to this, I might as well say it, which is same as Rob really, is to try and just that more aggressive play style, right? Like I back myself into most people to be able to grind out a game and into some form of points. But I want to, when we're for example, when we're at Warhammer World, right? And you play your first turn, you're like, okay, well, I can tell this player's not a particularly experienced player or whatever. I really want to shove it home and rip them apart. And I think that kind of cutthroat nature and that ability to hit hard and just here's everything on my army because I've worked out that you can't deal with it, and then I'm going to
yeah.
That's the thing that I would really like to push on. And It's easier when you play more practice games because you can just go, right. Well, I'm just gonna run it, mate, and let's see what happens. It's a practice game. It's obviously a bit harder when your games are generally ITTs, because that's not the best time to just be running your opponent. Sorry, guys, I just wanted to try something. It didn't work.
Do you mind if I push? I have no idea what's going to happen.
I don't know how to push either. But I'm pretty sure I can move my army out in the middle of the table and see what happens.
I'm not sure if I should, so I'm just going to 70% push. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that feels like the best way of it. So yeah, that's for me is
that makes a lot of sense. And I think it's interesting. I think that stylistic, because we all in our team we do the ITT so often now. There's so much more interest in that, right? In carving out that role and being able to do that properly. I think.
Just talking about different play styles, one of the funniest moments from an event was I was running Deathwing Knights at one of them, and it was my first event not playing Drukhari, and I just didn't put my Deathwing Knights in the middle because I thought they would die if I put them in the open. I got halfway through my opponent's turn. I'm like, if I went there, you couldn't kill them. He's like, no, I couldn't. Yeah, that's the thing. Things can live. Things can live in the open.
The art of leaving things actually just exposed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How about you, Jet? What are your goals for this year?
I think the way I would say is probably do the same thing I did last year, which is divide it into sort of gaming and content stuff.
Yeah.
So in terms of gaming stuff, I'm not going to set any goals for like performance, partially because it feels like you're just going to have that cup that never fails, right? If you're going to aim for that, which is probably not a healthy thing to do. Also, I'm just not really feeling the UKTC circuit right now, and I think if you want to perform, you have to really grind on that, and I just don't really want to.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't even do the ITTs if you guys weren't doing them. So, but it's a good time, so I still want to be there with you guys. So, in terms of gaming stuff, I probably say I want to kind of reach the level of expertise I have. I haven't lost it yet with Tau on guard, because at the moment I'm still leaning a lot on conventional wisdom of others. Whereas with Tau, I kind of reached a point with Tau where there was no content on YouTube for me to consume. There was no one I could talk to a lot of the time that I felt like had more experience than me. And I didn't feel like I was getting anything like in terms of additional knowledge, and the thing is I didn't already know from listening to other people. So I kind of, which I guess trying to reach that point is a bit sad actually, now that I say that, but trying to reach that point with guard, I guess, to try and become a knowledgeable person on that army is kind of a point I want to get to. I think it's definitely gonna be a lot harder with guard than it is with Tau, if for no other reason that they have it's a lot wider army for you to do stuff with. There's a lot more data sheets, there's a lot more.
It's actually quite hard to play, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot in there to
it
dig into.
Quite difficult to use well.
Yeah, and it relies on your fundamentals a lot, so that's going to be super interesting. I don't even know if I could do it in a year, so but that'll be interesting to get my teeth into. So unlike you guys, you want to learn to push. I want to learn to pull, and not just because I'm married to the game and not a real person. I think I'm too aggressive most of the time. I'm a naturally aggressive player, and I definitely find myself being too aggressive more often than not, and I feel that causes me a lot of issues. So I think learning to be less aggressive and not throw the game on something that I don't need to be doing is probably the to go in that kind of more that direction rather than being more aggressive.
More patient hunter.
Yeah. I'll take my 10s every round. That's fine. And I would like to win a best sports as well. I've won a best painted before, and I've won events before, but I've never won a best sports. And I feel like I could, because I do think I'm nice, and I'm not playing an army that makes people feel bad anymore. So maybe I can do that. That'd be pretty cool. I'm see if I can aim towards doing that. In terms of content stuff, I think that the videos that I tend to make, I tend to make videos where if I had something I want to say, because like if I want to make something like editorial, I want to make an editorial video, right? More than I want to make, not to get very meta and talk shop with everyone out there and listen on land, but like I want to have something that I want to say when I make a video, and I think there's a certain degree of me lacking confidence in my own ideas a lot, and that kind of holds me back. So I think I kind of want to try and work past that and have a bit more confidence in my own ideas and just push more stuff. And I can only thank everyone out there who leaves comments and stuff and says nice things about videos that I do, or if we're on here on the podcast, then that's really helpful for me. So very very grateful to everyone out there who's leaves such nice comments for stuff like that. So yeah, more of that stuff. And then I would like to do. I'm going to set a goal. I'm going to set a number, which is very very hazardous. I'm going to set a number for 6 battle reports this year.
Sick. Okay, nice.
I'm going to see if I'm going to do 6. I got 1.5 booked in already, so hopefully we can do that. And
6 different Eldad attachments for you, mate. We can do it. Let's go.
Yeah. maybe 5 or 4. Anyway,
that'd be great. That'd be really good.
And then the last thing, I want to try my hand at hosting a stream, because I saw you do it and it's really cool. So obviously once we get our own streaming equipment, we can do that. And I just think that's it's just an interesting part of 40k. I don't know. It's just I just want to try it because it seems like a lot of fun.
100%.
So that's something that I would like to do from a content perspective.
And I think you've got you've got a really good brain for the observational analysis and commentary of that kind of thing as well. I think that'd be a really cool thing to try. Yeah.
Thanks for complimenting my brain.
That's all right. It's a good old brain. Good old brain.
But yeah, that's probably where I would say my goals are towards for this year.
Perfect. No, that's really cool. So we've got a few more goals coming through in the chat. Ali G in the Hood says first RTT tournament in 1 month's time. That's really exciting. I hope you have a great time. Sam Dunn says my goals last year were to improve and not be a dick at the cost of improvement. Oof, unlucky. That's a shame.
That makes sense.
That's a clause in the contract, wasn't it?
We've then got this is such a John Black comment. Right, let's dissect this. There is a really good, interesting idea here, which is I think John Black's proposing we maybe put up some mentees teams.
A mentee team.
I think that would be awesome.
That'd be very cool.
That would be super.
And then we could coach.
Yeah, we will. John Black will do that. That would be an amazing thing to do this year. In very John Black style, you've then made it very complicated.
Yeah. I had to translate it a bit.
In the subsequent bit, there's some stuff about army types, role types, competition for slots. It all gets very elaborate, which I love you, John Black. That is you to a T. But that's a fantastic idea. Let's do that. I'm writing that down. We're doing it. We're absolutely doing that. Me and Chris will sort a mentees team out and get it out to an event. That'd be great. That's a really fun goal, and I think that for me that kind of leads me. A lot of my goals in my thinking this year are very, I guess, community oriented. I've obviously got a real life bites back hard year on the way at the moment. There's just other stuff. I've got other stuff. I've got a job, got a new place, got other things I want to do with my time, which is awesome and good, but means 40k now has to get back in the box it was originally in, possibly a smaller one than it was originally in. So I'm just figuring all of that out. But I think that means focusing back in on all the things that make it great, which is, for me, the communities I'm involved in, right? Which is 6++ first and foremost. And one of my goals this year is play as many of my teammates as I possibly can. I've kicked off a little challenge within the team today to try and get the lads to all play against each other more this year and get us all ticking off trying to play as many of the different members of the team as they can as well. So I really want to drive that and have us all interacting as much across the team as we can. Within the Team England stuff, I just want to help Team England place high. And there's 2 things I want. I want us to try and place top 5, and I want us to not dip from the sportsmanship standards we set. Those are the 2 goals I have for that team. And as long as I think we're on track for those, for certainly the sportsmanship thing, then I'll continue to invest time and energy and thought into Team England, and I think there's loads more to be done there. But it would also be awesome to push us on in a competitive sense this year as well. If that means playing, great. If that means supporting, great. Whatever it takes. I think that would be really exciting to do as well. And then nothing else besides that. I think with content, for me, it's a bit like what I was saying with Christmas. Like, I'm just going to work when I want to work. Chris and I are talking, and we're trying to work out good ways to schedule and backlog and store stuff so that works. I think I'll try and just do content on a day, and then just stockpile stuff will make sense rather than drip feeding. I think that will help to be focused with different things and get videos recorded. So I think that will be really, really fun. And yeah, I think it's just, other than that, just carrying on with all the wonderful things we get to do. I would like to play some singles again. I've not played much singles in a good 7 or 8 months, so maybe I'll try and get a super major or a big GT in at some point.
Something I forgot about actually that
Go on, Jack.
Connects to what you're saying there is there's so many good local RTTs out there.
100%.
And I think that I definitely want to go to more than I have been. I mean, I've been basically going to all of the ones at my local, which is Inspire Gaming in Peterborough. And they've been some of the best events I've done all year. And then we did the ones in Paradise in Newport Pagnell, right? That's where that is. I did that one a couple of weeks ago with Davey running it, and that was an incredible venue. And it just kind of reminded me that there's so many small local RTTs out there that are not events run by UKTC. Not as anything. I'm not trying to push an agenda on that before anyone accuses me of anything. But
you're right.
There's so many. It's just cool. Like I like supporting those local hobby places. So I kind of want to do more of those, and
I think
they're good singles events.
The goal I'll try and come with you on, because I think I used to do it loads. Especially when I was in Hertfordshire, I used to play loads of local places, and I don't even know where to start local to here. So maybe that's something I can do, is try and find some good places to play locally. I think that would be really, really nice. But yeah, as you say, I think there's so much variety once you get out to different events like that. So it's nice to make the most of it, right?
You're right, Chazza, by the way, in the chat. Sydney, it's close to me. The stars always seem to align to screw me over going to those events. I don't know what it is. I need to get down there to one that's definitely an event down in Sydney. It's in Hive City. And
I'm excited that Chaz is up for mentee teams as well. This, I think, we're just going to have to go away and immediately cook this idea, because it's so cool. Like, that's a really good idea, John Black. Zito says attending first teams events main goal of this year. Enjoy that aspect of the game. That's really cool as well. More love for
I got the team for you.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. That's really, really cool. Okay, wonderful. Right, well, we asked our podcast questions for some resolutions as well as some questions, so we'll start diving into that as well in just a second. And if you, the chat, have more resolutions or questions, you're very welcome to throw them in as well. I will just do a little quick shout out for our fundraiser, which is currently ongoing. We have been raising money essentially to build a live streaming setup to take to the World Team Championships in the summer, and cover the Team England run. And then obviously in the long run, we'll hopefully use it in a recording studio, all of our own, to make live back reps and content and stream other events in the future as well. You guys have been phenomenally generous. The GoFundMe is approaching £2,000. Any and all donations to that are massively welcome. We're going to be launching a little raffle whereby the winners of the raffle are going to be able to name the actual ITT teams we are taking to the ITT in a few weeks' time, which we're very excited about. It's going to end in tears. It's going to be some sort of disaster, but I think that'll be really fun. And of course, we will do the second half of our fundraising back rep, which had all sorts of mental stuff going on with the chat, basically determining outcomes. Things like a Harridan suddenly turning up, Asgil getting turned into a tiny flying death machine. There are all sorts of absolutely incredible moments in that game, and we will carry that on. But if you guys have ideas for other things you'd like to see on a fundraising front, we're more than happy to hear ideas as we keep pushing to kick on with that as well. But just to reiterate, an enormous thank you to everybody who's donated to that so far. You're absolutely brilliant. Wonderful. Do we have anything else to promote at the moment, Chris?
I think I mean, as we said, there's ITT coming up, and so obviously anyone who wants to play in the house. You talk. My cat's being sick. Be right back.
Chris is being sick. I don't even know where he was going with that, so I can't.
Sorry, I got very distracted there. I just suddenly heard this noise. I was like, what is this noise?
Sick.
My cat is being sick right now. Very distracting for me. But obviously, ITD around the corner for all those teams who want to take their game to the next level. As was mentioned earlier, we do have um, our our recording of it's like an hour long. It's £12, and you'll get lots of wonderful information, which covers everything from team composition to matrixing to the pairings process. So if you're one of those teams that wants just a bit of advice on how to take it up to the extra level, we've done it a long time, so we know what not to do more than what to do necessarily. We feel like we're in a pretty good spot to be able to talk about that. So that's definitely go check that out. In terms of videos, if you are a member, we've really clarified our tier system, because some of the feedback we got was it was a bit muddled what you got from each tier. So now it's if you're a lieutenant, you'll get access to things like King of the Ping and the painting competitions and that sort of thing. And I'm going to do a weekly post just sharing what's going on in the land of the police, what we're getting up to, what we're trying to do. If you want access to the members only videos, that's the captain tier, which is $4.99. I mean, I just released 5 member videos in the last 5 days just to get the year off to a good start. So there's loads of videos there. Yeah. And then if you're interested in coaching, we have our chapter master tier, where that's £6 a month, which will get you access to the coaching Discord, and then just message Tom or myself, and we will talk to you about who you kind of would like to work with. And then there's separate costs for calls and games there and stuff.
So many people in there now. It's a real hive of industry. It's awesome, and we're seeing all sorts of really interesting things being done and lots of results achieved. So if that sounds like you're interested in this year, then come and get involved. Thanks, Chaz, in the chat for the bribe for a mentee team spot. It doesn't even exist yet, and they're already trying to bribe their way onto it. That's awesome.
Always open to bribery.
We are, as you know, absolute mercenaries these days, so we will, of course, sell slots to the highest bidder.
Easy.
I like to think we will manage one way or another to accommodate everyone that wants to play on a mentee team within the mentee system at some stage. That'll be fine. And we can just as long as we finish above our own mentee team, then we'll be all right. Fantastic. But yeah, again, to reiterate, you all rock. Your support last year was phenomenal. We had such an exciting year. We've got all sorts of exciting things ahead, and so we're very, very grateful for all your help with us so far. Okay, so we're going to move it to podcast questions, and as I say, they were invited in the Discord to chuck in their resolutions and the like as well. So let's see what else we've got. So Tangled Tanuki asks, I'd like to get more in... Oh, this is such a Chris question. Here we go. I'd like to get more intentional this year with my practice, as I'm not playing a game completely, but rather testing things out, resetting a board, and doing something else. Any tips from the guys for this type of practice? Chris, is this something that you've ever thought about?
I feel like I've probably done a video on it.
I think you probably have, Chris. Yeah,
I've done an entire video on this. So... yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about. It is worth a video. I do need to double check that I have done a video on that. I'm just gonna scroll down. But yeah, I mean, intentional practice is obviously something that I've tried to push. I mean, I've done a video all about playing with yourself. That's a members only video. So if you want to watch me talk about playing with myself, then watch that video.
Algorithms clapped on that with that thumbnail, by the way. Just anyone who hasn't seen it yet, go and check it out.
It's a good one. And then, but yeah, for me, the single most important thing when you're trying to practice to get better is your opponent. You need to make sure you're both on the same wavelength. I mean, we've tried things with our in host team, and I've had many games where I'm like, right, so we're going to work really collaboratively and blah blah blah. And you talk it through, and you're like, yeah, and then you get to turn 3, and suddenly there's a slightly less discussion on how the games are playing out and that sort of thing, and there's a bit more just like, because suddenly the competitive instinct gets in. It's really about taking yourself away from that and be like, this is just 2 people who are trying to work out how a matchup goes. Leave your ego at the door is the thing I always say. And I think that's probably the best bit. Make sure you have those conversations with your people who you're playing against. Make sure you're both wanting to achieve the same thing. And there's apps, as they kind of allude to, there's absolutely no point if you get to turn 2 and you realize the game's over, right? Or well, like kind of you've learned what you need to from the game. What's the point in playing on if you are trying to achieve more of a focused play? So yeah, just a classic evening of play 2 turns twice, and that sort of thing. I
100%.
think goes a really long way. Be happy to be like, you know what, I really want to try playing aggressively. So do you mind if I go first stage and then shove at you, and let's just spend 2 or 3 turns working out what that looks like. Just talk it through, learn through that way, and you will actually find you will learn from that so much more. Like too often, it's hard. Like if we play any other sport, you go to training, right? You don't learn to play any other sport or any other like kind of system like that by just going and playing matches, which is kind of what a lot of 40k players do. How
Yeah.
often do we actually dedicate time to? How many of us get models out and be like, right, today I'm going to practice getting my charge phase sorted. Cool, I'm going to charge this unit here and I'm going to see what I can achieve and actually move the models around and practice doing the charge phase and basing in the right order and moving in a certain way. Like, how often do people do that? I would imagine pretty much never. But actually, you know, you hear like content creators, they'll doing a bat rep and be like, oh, I could wrap that rhino. What does that actually look like? Well, get the rhino out, get your models out, do the charge. Where do I need to be? What happens when I roll a short charge, a long charge? Like, actually practice those things and you will find that it's far more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really sound. Jack, Rob, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that it's important to remember when you're doing practice stuff. It's something that really, I mean, it's partially what Chris mentioned. Something that really sets apart competitive gaming to competitive sports is that almost no competitive gaming set does training, right? Whereas sports is almost all training, right? Like you always train for any sports game, but very like if you look at like esports, right? Like League of Legends and CS:GO and Call of Duty and stuff like that, they don't practice aim in a training simulation. They just throw themselves into it, which I don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm not an expert on that, but it's just like it's interesting to look at sort of both perspectives of it. And I think it's important to remember what you want to get out of your practice, right? That's probably the most important thing I always say, right? Because I mean, a perfect example of this is the other week I was playing against Theo with my guard into his like MSU Blood Angels, and I thought I was completely gonna get knackered in that game. And from the first 2 turns, he had top or 2, and I thought the game was over. We continued to play that game, and I ended up like winning it by like 1 or 2 points or something. And that was essentially just an exercise in practicing playing for points, which is something. It's not a skill that you can build if you are just saying like just play the first 2 turns, which is not to say that anything that Chris said was wrong or anything. I just mean like when you're doing that, don't just like mindlessly say, okay, the game's decided in the first 2 turns, let's redo it to not waste time. It's just you need to really think about what you want to practice. Like for example, in that exact situation that I was talking about, where I thought the game was over, the ability to predict game flow and understand how a game's going to go in the long run is a really important skill, particularly in teams. So if you want to practice that, if you can like get to the end of the first 2 turns and say, you know, I think this game's going to go this way, and then because that's a good way to do focused practice. Where I'm going with this is, it's a good way to do focused practice if you're playing with someone who doesn't necessarily want to do that and just wants to get their weekly game in, or a league game in, or whatever it is that you're doing. If you try and think beforehand of the game something you want to get out of it personally, that's a good way to do very targeted practice for yourself, and like without necessarily going into a collaborative effort. If you don't have the ability to set aside a day and do practice games, or an evening and do practice games like one after the other, that's another good way to go about it. Sorry, I waffled a bit on that, but that is my general point. Think about what you want to get out of it before you play the game, and think about that as you're going through.
Well, as both Jack and Chris have said, like finding like-minded people and people that you really enjoy the practice you get against is really useful in this sense, and that's kind of how teams form, really. I mean, Sixth in lots of ways is a bunch of people who quite enjoyed practicing and prepping against each other over time, and and had a similar ethos on things, and very good partnerships come out of that. I always think it's the Carnage lads who've obviously had a real breakthrough in the last couple of years competitively. They're basically just a bunch of practice partners, right? Same for the Langtons over at Mind Goblins, like people who get on really well, practice to a really high standard, and develop together, kick on really well. So I think it's a good goal to have Tango Tanuki, but having some like-minded fellows will definitely help with that as well. Okay, wonderful. So.
And there is a video, I've put it in the chat, but if he's watching this not live, you won't see it. But if you just type in on our search bar, like practice tips or something, there's a video which is called Want to Improve Fast, 10 Warhammer 40k practice tips for real progress.
And there's going to be advice to play with yourself in there.
Yeah, 100% is the tip to play.
We have a little question in the chat from John Black, which I'll feel, which is in the spirit of magical Christmas time since I was a kid, courtesy of his toddler, who's had a great time this Christmas. What is your best memory from a Christmas, in brackets, lifetime, guys? What's the best memory you have from Christmas in your lifetimes?
Oh, God.
I have a funny one.
Go on.
So,
It's
when
better
I
be funny and not sad.
Don't worry, this is the only funny one. The rest are all sad. I won't tell those ones.
Okay.
No, so I think I was 7 or 8 years old. So this was like my first or second year having a younger sister, right? And obviously being a small child, I wasn't very happy that I was not the center of attention anymore.
Yeah.
So I got quite upset, and I threw a bit of a tantrum in my bedroom on Christmas morning. And then, so I had this huge poster. My dad is a picture framer by trade, and he had this huge framed poster of like all the original 151 Pokemon, right? And my tantrum was so elaborate, it fell off the wall and onto me, right? And I got quite badly injured. I got a nasty like cut on my arm from broken glass. My mum panicked. We went to the hospital, and I spent my sort of Christmas morning that year in the hospital, and I always found it really funny because I just tortured my parents with that memory of this. I blame them because they put that giant picture frame over my head as a child, and I just tortured them with it, and that just makes me warm in the cockles of my heart. I get to wind my parents up with that funny story, but yeah,
that was everything I thought it would be, Jack. Thank you for that.
Ruined Christmas Day. It's hilarious.
Rob, Chris, do you have any nice Christmas memories?
For me, it's the first year I was a non-believer, shall we say, and it was the year Pokemon came out, and I just remember being really excited about Pokemon. And on Christmas morning, I opened up and I had Pokemon Blue, I had Game Boy Color, and I played the shit out of that for the whole of Christmas Day, and that was one of the best Christmases.
Yeah, absolutely. Rob?
You know what? This Christmas, I've got a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And so every year we've got this like dice game. Played with 6++ dice this year.
Oh, nice.
So you effectively have a table full of presents, and you roll some dice. If you roll 3 or a 6, you can take one, and you time how long it takes to run out of presents. And then when you finish doing that, you start another timer. And you can roll the dice, go around again. You can steal presents. And we had our 3-year-old playing this, and he was absolutely fucking ruthless. It was brilliant. He ended up with this massive pile. Everyone was afraid to steal anything from him. It was it was a nice little wholesome gaming moment with the little one.
Sounds very wholesome, Rob. Yeah.
Nice. I don't have
that's what I was worried you were both going to do, is something like wholesome with your kids, and then
I'm not to be fair, 2 years ago, because we alternate with my stepson on having him, and Chantal thought this would be a really nice idea to like paper over his like kind of door, which was closed, and have like balloons there. So when he opened his door, it'd be like, oh, surprise, blah, blah, blah. So what actually happens is he opens his door, sees the tape going across the door, and immediately shuts the door and starts crying in his room. Now, we don't know this has happened, so we just kind of wake up, and we just hear sobbing through the wall. Basically, I mean, Edward would have been 7 at the time. He'd woken up, thought that Santa had gone, no, you've been naughty, and taped over the door so he couldn't leave his room,
Yeah.
and he woke up this poor 7-year-old for like an hour just sobbing in his room because he thought he'd been naughty. Obviously, it absolutely scarred Chantel for having done this to her child. So that's
Unbelievable.
quite a wholesome story. There you go.
Unbelievable. There you go. Some excellent ones. There was a Christmas game that my granddad used to play, which is, I don't know, has anyone ever encountered a game called Shove Halfpenny? Anyone ever?
I feel like I've
This
heard
is
of it.
an incredibly old English game where it's basically just a big slate with lines on. You cover it in like flour, and you are just trying to shove like an old like 2p or halfpenny coin or whatever. It's the ones that are like a disc one. You're just trying to shove those and like get one into each of the different like sort of holes. So I guess it's a bit like what's like the ice hockey game where you're trying to launch it down the thing. I don't know what it is, but anyway, very weird old game. My granddad loved it. We would always play it at Christmas. I don't know why, but that is a very fond memory I have of it and of him, and that was a really lovely time whenever we did it. Bizarre game though, very very strange. All right, go on, Jack.
Just on the topic of Christmas games, my family has developed this. My family has this thing where they develop a thing as a tradition, and it becomes a tradition after 1 year, even though we've only ever done it. We have a tradition that's been going on for 2 years now. It's called the cling film game. I don't know if anyone's heard of that one. It's the fucking worst, and I hate it. And I just want to fucking lamp my sister every time we play it, because so essentially what it is you get a ball and then you wrap like cling film around it, and you put like scratch cards or like £10 notes or whatever in there, different layers, and you just keep layering up the cling film. And then the game is that you roll. One person has the cling film ball, and they have to wear a pair of oven mitts and try and unravel the ball. And then the next person in the row has a pair of dice, and they have to roll them until they get a double. And if they get a double, then you have to switch to the next person, and the next person rolls that, and so on and so forth. And it is the most infuriating game I've ever played in my life. And this year, my dad made the cling film ball for the first time, and he's never done it before. And he did 60 meters of cling film because he just used the entire thing, right? Like he just used the entire thing of cling film, and it was 60 meters. And it was just like, we were there for like 90 minutes playing this game, and we were all like pouring with sweat. It was midnight, and we were just like rolling this dice hopelessly, like please let it end. And it was just, oh my god, it was absolutely hell on earth.
Christmas is weird. Christmas is very weird, is what I've learned tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Some very strange things in the mix. There you go. Someone called Make Angron Great Again wants to know how we can make Angron great again. I love that so much. Any ideas, guys?
Make them go through walls all the time.
That was literally the same thing that works for everything else, right?
That makes everything broken, right?
Yeah. Shining Spears have it, and they're brilliant. So
notoriously
go through walls all the time. That would certainly open him up. I think Angron is pretty usable right now, though, is what I would say. Give him a go. You might be pleased. But Ingress him. He's all right.
Does he come back that often these days?
Nah.
Never.
No, the comeback's worse because you have to give up one of the buffs for the turn.
Yeah, that's it.
To get him back. So
yeah, just make him a Catan.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those new Catan. How about those? How about those new Catan, guys?
A couple of teams-based questions. Hannibal asks, how would you amend the standard UKTC board to create a heavy board? Got any ideas for that?
Crates. Put some crates in. So
it's time for some crates. I agree. Yeah. Let's get some crates on. That'd be nice.
I think the current UKTC board is already quite heavy as it stands.
I would agree with you. Yeah.
But I think if you were gonna make it heavy, I think the place you would do that would be to cut the long, because there's a very long line of sight across the middle of the board, particularly on the diagonal board, the Crucible map.
Yeah.
There's a very long line of sight there, so I think you'd have to cut that if you wanted to stop. If you wanted to make it heavier.
You could pull back the middle elves and put crates around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like have crates somewhere to break up that line of sight. That would be my suggestion for making it heavier. But I don't necessarily think they need to be heavier from where they are.
it's the single biggest difference I think with those UKTC maps. When I've been playing on other styles, and then I go back to it, I'm like, oh yeah, if I go to the middle, I just get got down that line every time. Like once I'm in the middle, the stuff that goes through, there's not a world where that's not getting hit. Like it does just get hit. So I think that would be an interesting dynamic to add, right? Yeah, more of a something you can pivot around in the middle, as you say, and creating.
It's like WCC, they have that weird little two ruin
exactly.
square, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. And the GW stuff kind of has its little islands that you can kind of pivot around. So I think that would definitely add something for a slightly heavier board for it, for sure. And then Hannibal asks, if Victrix don't win Nottingham, which army will?
Chickens.
Jack's going to say,
it's not many.
Tony Chu with 9 shining spears. Let's go. It's time.
Guard? Is anyone good taking guard?
I've no idea.
I don't actually know who's going.
I don't know who's going either. I'm going to just say Blood Angels will win. There you go.
Not Drakari.
Not Drakari.
Watch me pair Blood Angels 5 times.
Oh, sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to bet against you there. B-Mob asked, what do we think the ideal 5-man team comp looks like at this start of the year? That's just a little question for you, Chris. There you go.
That's what we're all trying to answer at the moment, right?
Yeah, we are.
Since I'm not going to ITT, I'll take a stab at this.
Go on then, Jack.
So I think Guard are a given. I think they're very strong right now.
It's fair.
So and they're just a really solid army. So I would say Guard probably make you 5. I think obviously Ultramarines have to make a 5 at the moment. They're just too good to say no to. I think there's absolutely a space for a pressure melee list in there. I think you're either going to want to go from that point of those 2 armies. I think you're going to either want to go like 2 melee pressure armies or 2 ranged armies. And if I was picking 2 for range pressure, probably probably has to be Emperor's Children and World Eaters.
Makes
They're
sense.
probably the best 2 in the meta right now that aren't blocked out by having Ultramarines. And then I think your last one is always going to be Comfort. Really, if you're going for range damage, I think Tower is still a decent enough ranged option.
You're not a fan of the chickens.
The chickens, oh yeah, I forgot about them. I think that'd be another one that you could consider for as a ranged damage option.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Incursion's still good too, right? Like
demons
are just solid at 5s.
Just slots in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Thousand Suns have some juice these days. They've been putting up some pretty decent tournament results. I think Custodes have a couple builds at the moment that are reasonable.
Oh yes, they do.
Eldar are still good. I don't care what anyone else says. They are. This is the thing. I think a lot of armies have like a couple of, or at least one, like really weird niche skew build they can run at the moment, which is what makes writing a team comp at the moment so hard. Because there's too many. There's like one constant that you've really got to worry about, or 1 or 2 constants you've got to worry about, and then everything else is just a wild card. Which makes it really hard to prep a team comp.
The constants are such a different question as well that you just can't really plan for it.
Yeah, exactly right. Is it going to be like the new Necrons with the charge in your turn thing, or lions? Right. I think if anything, you're probably better off preparing for dealing with particular like rules almost, right? It's like, can I deal with a blood surge? Can I deal with or do I have a plan to deal with indirect? Do I have a plan to deal with like a bunch of lone ops? Do I have a plan to deal with a land raider? or 3 that sort of thing. That's probably more what you're looking to prep towards rather than a specific army. But
and now more than ever, it's know your armies, know your matrix. Like when it's this open ended, as Jack says, and you could, obviously we've been running through all our options for our team, and like just trying to build up a matrix for what we'll think we'll play into. But the reality is, if you know your army and you know its options and that sort of thing, that's going to take you a lot further than trying to jump on any particular.
I'd use our Warhammer World Adventure as a good example of that. Right, we had players who all knew the army they were playing really well, and that in that field was, and it wasn't exactly what people would have been prepping for either, and that went further, that worked better. Go on, Jack.
I was say, I think actually this meta we're in right now is a very similar situation where we were in immediately before the ITT summer, the one where we recorded,
and the Death Guard one.
Just the Death Guard one, yes. I didn't want to say the Death Guard one, but yes, the Death Guard one. So I'd say learn from our mistakes, because that meta was there's one or two things that you know are going to be around, and the rest is going to be a total wild card. So learn from our mistakes. Don't army hop to the thing that you know is good.
Yeah.
In this case, I'm talking about Ultramarines. But just know what you're like. Okay, if the big bad comes along, you're just gonna have to. Someone's gonna have to eat that bullet, and then the rest is gonna have to pick up the slack. Maybe that's gonna be your plan. But that's gonna be easier to do if you are very knowledgeable and experienced in your own army.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to get specialists in to get those 8 points to stop those people who have jumped on Victrix of just running over them.
Like I think Guard are a better army than Tau at the moment, but I would back myself to get a better score into Victrix with Tau than I would with Guard. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah, 100%. I think there's lots of solid advice there. All right, I think for tonight that will do us, gentlemen. You've all been wonderful. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. It's been absolutely awesome having you here. And may you have a great start to 2026. And we'll look forward to bringing you a whole bunch more content very, very soon. See you again next time. Bye-bye.